saying hello today with Frances Cardwell from the Lang Pioneer Village just outside of Peterborough. And with me here is Frances Cardwell, who's the miller here in the grist mill, and she's showing me the third level of this historic building. What do we have here?
These are the legs that bring up the grain. When it leaves the elevator that's in the legs, it goes down to first floor and it's milled into flour. Then it comes up in this elevator and it empties the flour into the sifter. And as the sifter rotates, the finest flour is going to come through the screen, drop out the bottom at this end to go down to be bagged. But if it won't come through the screen, it's going to drop out the other end to go back down to be remilled. So it recycles through this sifter. And there are teardrops, and in behind there are holes, pigeonholes. They're chuck holes if you have a stoppage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you wanted to bin it, you sent it up and you pushed a lever and the grain would go down into the top of the bin for storage. And when he wanted to bin it, he sent it up in this elevator and it went out this way, and all these pipes had long pipes fitting into the bins below. And when he turned this handle down on first floor, he could channel the grain into the bin he wished.
It turns,
and he had numbers above his head, so he would know which bin he was going to put it in.
Okay.
There's an old sifter down there. They call them scalpers. They call them bolters.
Okay.
And it's got a horsehair brush on it.
Yeah.
And it would have had silk on its ribs because as it rotates, the brush clears the holes in the silk screen.
Okay.
Now, flour dust is explosive, and they're always afraid of friction in mills. So we have, well, it's a pretend magnet, but they would have had magnets in the spouting system, and that would pick up any metal that would be in the grain, because we are using steel rollers, they're called sizing rolls, and this is the first pass down to those rollers. So the magnets would pick up any metal that might be in the grain, because maybe the farmer had a broken machine. And nowadays our grain is all washed and cleaned, and it does come from the New Life mills in Hanover, Ontario. So that, but it will have gone through magnets in that mill.
That's a great way of keeping the metal out, that's for sure.
Okay. Now this one does have the silk on it.
Oh, okay, so that's another sifting machine. Okay.
And it's we've got a spare wooden auger. And they're made out of wood, so you don't get friction. And also you could make new teeth. You could peg new teeth in if you should break one. And that's what's in the bottom of the sifters, are wooden augers. Oh. It moves the flour along the bottom.
Okay.
And that's what's in the bottom of our sifter that is working as a Now this machine is also a sifter. Just hold it for a minute, will you? Because I want to switch this around. This was also, it was made in Stratford, Ontario, and not too many people have seen one like this. The flour would come up and the machine would just agitate like this. So it came up and it spiraled around the machine. It's got 8 sides to it. And each one of the slots had trays like this. And if you look, this one's just a little higher, so it's dropping as it goes around. And in the center are compartments. And this is a feeder tray, so it would feed off the finest, and it would go all the way down, go down through the socks and into the operation below. I feel that this one was original to the mill because of the way it's the holes line up. Okay.
That would have to be custom designed, I would imagine.
Because like nobody took any pictures, so I really
we don't know what's original, really.
Not really, but we feel that this one must have been.
We've got a canoe here. How come?
We had a First Nations person working with us this summer.
Oh.
And a good way to talk about water. Because the waterways are the highways for First Nations people.
Exactly. I went to the Peterborough Canoe Museum yesterday, so I learned about that topic.
And of course, the first canoes were made out of birch bark and cedar strip, and that boat behind would have been made by one of the pioneers.
Now this round contraption here, what is this? It's just an old,
well,
I guess...
it was a dust collector.
Oh, a dust collector.
That would hang from the ceiling over one of the large sifters. So it contained the dust, so it wasn't being moved into the air from
cool. Excellent.
That, if you catch a better shot, because they're supposed to be fixing that. That's a dust room.
A dust room,
They used to blow the dust and dirt up from a machine in the basement, but they had to sweep it off the floor, so they added the cyclone dust collector on the second floor, where they could just bag it.
Wonderful. Now, you're the miller here. That means flour is still being made here.
Oh, yes.
What do you do with the flour?
We sell it to people that are visiting.
On site here? Do you also sell it to other retail stores as well? So strictly here.
We don't have any preservatives in our flour. So and we can't guarantee shelf time. So therefore, when we make the flour, it goes over to the gift shop to go in the freezer.
Oh, so it's frozen.
It doesn't spoil overnight, but it's kept cool.
Yeah, wonderful, excellent.
If you look out the window, very briefly up here, you're looking at the Indian River.
Yes.
Napier Simpson designed the village. And when you look out our windows, you can't see it today, but if you look out the window, you look up the pathway, and you look directly into the church door.
Really? Okay, so it would be covered by leaves maybe?
Right now.
By the trees, yeah. So in the winter you can actually see right to the church. Wow, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for giving me this wonderful introduction.
You're welcome.
Thank you.